1.5b. So we're still talking about angle pairs. Today's going to feel very familiar, I feel like, because of the segment addition postulate and the angle addition postulate and how those kind of interact with what we do right now. So first thing to note is a linear pair. And my question to you is, what word do you see in linear? Line. Okay. A linear pair is a pair of angles that form a straight line. Okay, they form a straight angle. How many degrees in a straight angle? 180. So a linear pair is a pair of angles that are going to add up to 180 degrees. They have to be adjacent to be a linear pair, right? So they share this ray, they share this vertex. So we would say angle ABD and angle CBD are a linear pair. Okay. And then it's just the side they don't have in common are opposite rays. Right? Essentially, it makes a straight line, is what they're saying. Okay, so this angle here and this angle here are a linear pair. Two angles that form that straight line with adjacent angles. Okay, two angles that form a linear pair then. So those two angles put together are one of the types of angles we talked about yesterday. What type? Supplementary, right? Those are supplementary angles. Okay. So just keep in mind, if ever you see a straight line, they will always make 180 degrees when all is said and done. Okay, that is a linear pair. And I will use that term a lot throughout geometry, linear pair. So just remember, makes a straight line, makes a straight line. All right, so first example here, it says angle KPL and angle JPL are a linear pair, okay? They give you the measure of each. What are the measures of the two angles as a number, not as an expression anymore? So in this scenario, because you have a straight line, because they are a linear pair, what do you do with those two expressions? You add them together, and what? Set them equal to 180. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite it here so we can solve it a little easier. 2x plus 24 plus 4x plus 36 equals 180 degrees. And then from there, it's just algebra. 2x plus 4x is 6x. 24 plus 36 is 60. Okay, then we're going to take away that 60. So 6x equals 120, and then we're going to divide by 6. So x is 20. Is that what they asked us for? No, they asked us for the angles. So now what are you going to do? Plug it back in. So we're going to take that 20 and plug it in here. So angle KPL is 2 times 20 plus 24. How's your mental math 2 weeks in? 64. Good job. And then angle LPJ or JPL. I don't remember how they named it. They did JPL. It's the same thing, right? If you just swap the order, LPJ, JPL. So that's going to be 4 times 20 plus 36. How's your mental math there? 116. Does that make sense? 64 and 116, can that work? Yeah, if you add those together, 64 plus 116, you get 180. So that is a linear pair. It checks out. We're good to go. Okay? Notice they did not set those angles equal, right? They're not congruent angles. So don't just set things equal when you see expressions. These are not the same. So make sure you pay attention. When they tell you it is a linear pair, they're essentially saying 180, set me equal to 180, right? Probably the most common mistake I see made on those is people don't really pay attention to what's going on. You can tell in that picture they're not equal, right? Pay attention to the picture. Don't set them equal if they are obviously not. All right? Okay, and then last thing, short lesson today. An angle bisector. Does anyone know what that is? What is a bisector? If I bisect something, what am I doing, Camille?
Like
Split it into two. What's true of those two? They're equal, okay? A bisector cuts it into two equal parts, all right? So an angle bisector takes an angle and it cuts it into two congruent angles, okay? And you can see that in this picture because they marked it for us, right? They did a little arc here and a little arc here. I'm going to just do double arc so you can see it a little better. But we would say right now that angle XAY is congruent to angle YAZ, okay? Which means when you get to a problem that looks like this and it says AC bisects, guys, I cannot even tell you, geometry of all the maths, I feel like geometry is the one where words come into play the most. You're going to see that next chapter. Next chapter, you hardly touch numbers. It's words. But it's fun words. It's reasoning. So words matter a lot in geometry. You are looking for things like bisect, and you need to know what bisect means. Bisect means cut it into two equal parts, right? So AC bisects angle DAB, and then they even mark that for you. How generous of them to mark that for you. So if DAC is 58, what's DAB? Not 58, 116, right? This is 58. They're congruent. So the measure of angle DAB is going to be 58 plus 58, or 116 degrees. Okay. I'm going to throw one more question at you because I feel like we've got lots of time and I want you to see this. So you can write this down with me, or you may just take a picture of mine and drop it into your thing if you want. When I'm done, that's fine too. Give me a second though. I want to make this make sense. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Is that what I want? We'll see. We're going to go with this. Let's say you have this might not be lovely numbers, but that's okay. I just want the concept. Let's say this is your picture. If you want to take a picture, take it now. They're going to tell you in the problem that ray DB bisects angle CBA. Okay? And then they're going to say find X. Solve for X. So if this is your setup, what do you do? Set what equal? The two expressions, right? You're going to say this angle has to equal this angle because they told you it bisects, right? That is cutting it into two equal parts. So even though they didn't mark them congruent for you, we know they're congruent. So you're going to say 3x plus 3 equals 4x minus 14, and then solve. So take away the 3x and add the 14. So you get x equals 17. So then if you had to find the value of each angle, you would plug that in. 3 times 17 plus 3 is 54 degrees. Okay, which means this one should be what? 54 degrees. So plug it in. 4 times, what did I say? 17 minus 14 is 54 degrees. Okay, so you can always check your work on these. Plug things in and you'll see what they should come out to. Questions on that? Shortest lesson to date? I think so.